With Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Well, hello. I'm coming to you live from Boulder, Colorado. I was going to say California. That's crazy. Hey, Catherine and Helen. We're all here. Butterflies in the house as well. How do you like that? Got the family downstairs, and I'm up here doing the show. Julie, Jama, good to see you. Michelle, lovely to have you here. Oh, we've had such a good time, and you can probably see, even though I've got 700 pounds of makeup, I got completely creamed yesterday. When we were out on the slopes, we had the best time skiing, and believe it or not, I woke up, the only pain that I had was where my boots hit my shins, and I know I'm going to have bruises there. Kathy, hello. So it was just it was so lovely. Amber and Izzy are in the house. You know, our little Izzy, isn't she the sweetest? I think she's our baby. We're all claiming her. Jenny, of course, is here, and so's Lindsay. So say hi to the dream team. They're here too. They're in the house. And Diane is here. Good to have you, Diane. I'm glad you're here. And so, yes, we are live. We've had recorded shows this week, and but we will be live tomorrow as well for Q&A. I checked our time schedule and all of that. It just made more sense to do it live. Hi, Linda. So let me just tell you a little bit about what's going on here. First of all, let's start with a quote of the week. Look at that. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. What do you think of that one? Doris, hello. You love that one as much as I do. I know you all love this one as much as I do. You know, I use these all the time for prompts for my journal. You know, I'll take that, any kind of a quote, and just let it light me up. I suggest you do the same. It's a great one. You have a Leah too? I have that. Well, Leah's, I guess, technically my stepdaughter. Although I don't believe in that. I would call her a bonus because she certainly is. And my son is downstairs as well. And we had a great time skiing together. This is what saved my bacon, by the way, on the slopes. This is Boost Oxygen. This was a product that they did on Shark Tank. And I stick this little thing in there, take a hit of oxygen, and then I'm like, okay, let's go. I get altitude sickness is one of the reasons we moved from Boulder into where we live now. And I just can't adapt. It's part of my DNA. So cool. You know, if that's the case, you just roll with it, right? So anyway, that's what happened with, I just wanted to show you this because this is, if you have any kind of oxygen deprivation problems, or if you're working with, you find yourself in a higher altitude, find this and get it. I think it was like $10 for the can. It saved me. Really did. Hi, Denise. So that was really good. The other thing I have to tell you about is our supplement of the week. And if you are wise, you're going to jump on this. It's Leptofix. Now, leptin is one of our hunger hormones. Leptin's the control switch that says you've had enough, you're good, no more food, right? It keeps us from going to Thanksgiving mode. You know what I'm talking about. Go to savingdinner.com/show to get the lowdown on this, because what happens is we start to lose fat. We start to break our leptin, and our leptin lives in our fat. Isn't that just ironic? You know, we're doing all the right things, and then our leptin breaks, and suddenly we're just going off the rails with our appetite. Well, this is going to fix it. You take it every morning on an empty stomach. I would not be without it. savingdinner.com/show to go get it. You can find this anywhere, Jane. You can get this at Walmart. It's everywhere. So that's where I found it. Hi, Juanita. Good to have you here. I'm around the corner from you. I think I saw where you lived, or in the general vicinity, as we were driving by on the way up to Copper Mountain. That's where we skied yesterday. All right. Let me just tell you what else we have going on, just so you know. Hot Melt 30 is beginning on April 1st. You're gonna want to go check out and see the webinar with all the questions. There's a ton of questions. This is going to give you the lowdown of what this is all about. savingdinner.com/30, THIRTY, to go get the guide. If you've already got the guide, you're good to go. If you're going to need some supplements, likely, we have them all there with you. And just do yourself a favor and just go check it out. I'm really anxious to start this. I'll be doing it with you. Hot Melt 30 for the win. It's going to be really good. So that's what we have going on. Hi, Roxy. We have a new person here. It's Roxy. Oh, and where's my Nancy? This is cheers to Nancy. I'm holding my airport water. I know, boring. But I didn't bring my hot melt mix. Isn't that terrible? Hi, Lynn. So, you roll with what you got and what you need and what have. So we're all good in the hood. We have, by the way, speaking of Hot Melt 30, we also have a webinar that's happening next Thursday, a week from today. Go to savingdinner.com/gut to get your seat. They're always free. We do these free webinars. This is going to be really informative. And when you hear the science behind what your gut is all about, I mean, it's going to blow your lid right off. It sure has with me as I've been getting prepared for it because there's so much new science out. And I like to dig into that because then we can make informed decisions about what to do next. How do we leverage that? That's what it's all about. It's not so we can walk around all high-minded like, I know more about your gut than you do. Not at all. It's so that we can take this information, apply it to our lives, and get better outcomes because that's what vibrancy is all about. So come to savingdinner.com/gut and go get your seat. Yes, it is. And this is my sunburn. You can see it from Copper Mountain. Thank you very much. And yes, I had sunscreen on. I'm just letting you know. I had sunscreen all over. So anyway, that is the best. Hi, Christina. I'm glad you're here. Good to have you. So that text messaging, by the way, you got your phone. I'm going to give you the phone number to text the word join, all in caps, JOIN, to 855-960-3720. Okay. We'll send you a message back and you need to confirm the way the message tells you. It's basically replying yes, saying you want us to be sending you stuff because we are very attuned to the fact nobody wants to be spammed, including their text messages, right? So we're going to take good care of you. I promise you that's what we do. Joanne is in the house. I'm so glad. All right. 2 question and answers. We're cut off for tomorrow because I'm going to, let me just put it to you this way. If you send a question during the show, we will honor it. Hi, Jeanette Martha. Good to have you. Send it to support@savingdinner.com and put question for Leanne on Friday right there in the subject line. I will be doing the show live tomorrow before we fly. Yes, I'm a committed gal, so I'm going to get on to that. But you got to get it done, okay? Like now's the time to get it done. So just if you want to open up a new window and get into your email and do this, just get it done. It's right there, directions. Secondly, 2 events coming up for Full Bloom, one virtual and one actually in person. Now, our virtual event is Saturday, April 23rd. If you go to savingdinner.com/bloom, you can get all the details. Can I tell you, though, this is the thing that you need to know. Hey, Flynn, this is the thing you need to know. We always over-deliver on these swag bags. And wait till you see the swag bag we have for this. It's mind-blowing. I don't want you to miss out on this. This is going to be a take it all the way in. It is all about creating magic in your life. It's the key to vibrancy, actually, and purpose. And that's what this is all about. And I cannot wait to share this with you. It is going to be a phenomenal day together. savingdinner.com/bloom. Go get it done now. Go grab your seat. You're not going to regret it. And then on July 29th, of course, July 29th, 30th, that's Full Bloom in person. We don't have a page for you yet, but you need to get on this if this is something that you're considering doing, because you're going to want to get airplane reservations and you're going to want to get your hotel because Brevard fills up. Asheville's our closest airport. Charlotte Douglas in Charlotte, North Carolina, or Greenville, South Carolina is also a very, very close airport. I'm just letting you know, start making plans because accommodations are going to get scarce soon. It's a destination place, man. Brevard's cool. All right. And as you can see, Jenny is laying down all the tracks from where you can find us on social media. Strong suggestion, go to TikTok and give us some extra love. Tap that screen about 100 times saying, I love this video. And this gets us into the algorithm of TikTok, and it feeds us into new people who are looking for us. They're looking for us, right? Right. All right, let's get down to business because today's show, I think, is going to light you up. We've been talking about all this week about the cost, the pain we pay to leverage the life that we want, right? And today we're going to discuss harmony. Harmony. We've never really talked about that and how harmony is an end result of the deliberate creation we make of our own lives. And I believe that this is pretty much a foundational principle for vibrancy, right? Because what we're looking at is that there's more than one, one part of your life. We have a tendency to get very focused on one thing. We're losing weight, we're all about that, or we're, pursuing this career, we're all about that. And what I have found in my own life, and I think this really hit home when I turned 60, and that was that if we don't address the full person, the full woman, all of our different aspects of who we are and how we're created, then we're going to miss out. We're going to totally miss the boat on having a life that we love in pursuit of one thing and not all the others. We need to do that. And that's not piling on, by the way. That's understanding who we are. We're fearfully and wonderfully made, and we are created on purpose and for purpose. And this is how we start pulling all of these things to get together to make that connection. Okay. So here we go. The dictionary defines harmony as, you're going to love this. One, you know how they have different dictionary definitions. Number one was the combination of simultaneous musical notes to produce a pleasing musical effect. If you've ever played an instrument, you understand, because you hit one wrong note and everything just goes bloop. It doesn't sound very good. But number two is this one. I love this. Agreement, accord, harmonious relations, congruity, a pleasing, I love that word, pleasing, and it's in both of these, a pleasing, consistent, orderly arrangement of parts. Harmony, like I said, is a deliberate creation. Think about an orchestra. When an orchestra is playing, that the creator of the piece in the first place has to think about all the different parts that all the different orchestra members are going to play. He's going to have something for the trumpets, the string section, the percussion. And if everybody's just doing their own thing, you have this thing called cacophony, right? Cacophony. And cacophony is disharmonious chaos, essentially. And who wants cacophony in their life? Anyone? I don't think so. So this is how we, this is how we put this all together, is put the parts together and create this beautiful harmony. So we know that everything has a cost. We know that everything also has a risk, right? In living the vibrant life we want. And oddly enough, the cost levied is also some type of pain, whether it's sore muscles and saying no to favorite treats and foods that maybe you want, or it's muscle loss and chronic health conditions if you're not pursuing health. Both of them have pain involved, right? It's choosing your pain. And I think once we understand that, and once we can come to terms with that, it's much simpler, because the contrast, to choose your pain for the betterment of yourself and the betterment of your family and the people around you as well. Living in harmony requires an inner lens to be able to access yourself. And I love this. This is, part of my whole meditative practice. And I hope, I like to, I love to encourage people to have a meditative practice, because it literally changed my life. And it helped me to be not quite so anxious and not quite so all over the place. It brought me into center, and it calmed me. It's just a plumb line, I believe, to God, who's just looking at us and saying, calm down, little one. I've got this. I've 100% got this. But, even in our anxious prayers to God, if we're not in harmony with ourselves, we find ourselves just going, oh God, please, blah, 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 blah. If we're have peace within ourselves and this calm, then we're going to be able to, offer up different prayers and have a different vision for our lives. It really is that profound. So let's take a look at these different parts of living in harmony, because Here's the thing that I've noticed too. If you've ever been a people pleaser or a people fixer, I don't know, trying to fix others before yourself, then there's that cacophony again, because you cannot direct the orchestra without each part having balance and having their own harmony going and having their own semblance of order, right? Isn't that what it was talking about before? Orderliness in harmony is such beautiful. And I believe that harmony starts to naturally follow suit when we, obey this, if you will, this whole understanding of what it's all about. So how do we then create our own personal harmony? I got a great quote for you. Andrew Murphy said, "You're confined only by the walls you build yourself." We tend to put ourselves in little identification pockets, if you will. Like, for example, I'm just not a morning person, or I'm a tea person. I'm a this person. I'm a that person, those kind of things, which I always find amusing because we identify with the time we get up, really. Maybe we need to expand our identification process, but it is how we do this. And I believe that when we say something like, I am a morning person, we are confining ourselves by a wall that says, I am unwilling to grow and learn that there's a better way to get your rest. There's a better way to sleep. And there's a better way to have a little more vibrancy in your life. We don't have to put those walls up. Now, Norman Vincent Peale wrote a book, The Power of Positive Thinking, back in 1952, and he rocked the world. You know why? Because he was a pastor of a church, and he wrote this book talking about visualization and affirmations. Hello, we talk about that stuff too, and it was just kind of out there, especially for church folk. But the interesting thing that he has done is that he had a bunch of case studies and stuff in the book, and he used basically biblical principles to spell the stuff all out. So it was so fantastic that he did this. And he said that this was created less of a realistic way of life, what they were used to, and more about how that this was about how we can be part of the creation of our own lives. We don't have to just sit back and let fate, roll us over with a steamroller. So Norman Vincent Peale, he really rocked the boat, but he opened our eyes to this little simple principle of what you think about, you're basically going to bring about. So if you are, if you're sowing a lot of negativity in your life and spending your energy and your focus and your perspective all on that, you're going to get back more of the same. You're not going to have a life. Can you imagine being suspicious of everyone and thinking that they had an agenda, and you'd never have a friendship? You'd never have one. Can you imagine that? Well, there's folks out there that are like that. They don't trust a soul. And because of that, they're not living in vibrancy. They're not living in harmony. They're living in fear. That's what that's basically about. And by the way, if you ever want to read The Power of Positive Thinking, it's free online, and then you can get it in a PDF. Hey, Jocelyn. So I don't know. You might want to go take a look at that. I think it's a classic book. It's been around for a long time, but I think it's really good. And really the gist of the whole book is that we are powerful creators in our own right. And because this is how we were created. This is not saying you take the seat, push God off the throne and you take it. No. It's saying you were created by God himself to become the creator of your life. That's what he's saying. And that's the truth. And we all know this whenever we've taken on a challenge to become a better version of ourselves, a higher version of ourselves. So what do you want to do? I've got 5 things for you. By the way, these are all going to be in the show notes tomorrow. If you're not getting our newsletter, it comes out daily. You can find it at savingdinner.com/show. Whoops, nope, sorry, wrong. That's where the supplement of the week is. You can find it at savingdinner.com. And there'll be a pop-up, and you'll get today's show in tomorrow's newsletter. Make sense? It's worth it. And it's good stuff there, plus recipes and a bunch of other stuff. Anyway, number 1, and this is so ironic. that I found this yesterday. I don't even know where. I might have seen it on a billboard or something. We were driving, of course, we stayed up in the Copper Mountain area, and then we drove up to Copper and went skiing all day. And I saw something. It was like on a billboard or something. Make decisions that reflect your worth, not your fears. That's one's worth writing down. Now, I haven't figured out yet who said this. It's not me. I wish. I think that's just brilliant. Make decisions that reflect your worth and not your fears. When we do that, we are going to live in harmony because we understand who we are and whose we are, by the way. And that's everything. But if we're fear-led, if we're going down the fear path, then fear is going to be directing everything. Fear is going to be saying, no, you're not going to do that. That's too risky. No, don't ever open your heart to love again. Don't ever get another dog. That was me for like 13 years, by the way. Different things like that. What do we want to do? How do we want to be? And what is our worth? Our worth is if our worth is making the decisions, we are going to live in harmony, and we are going to figure that out. Number 2, this is a good one. Accept people the way they are, and stop trying to change them. I have found in my own life personally, and this is in my closest relationships, that when I was free to be who I was and not had to worry about how they were and do I need to fix this or do I need to tap dance and accommodate them, then the trueness of my relationships blossomed. The closeness that I have with my children has grown, absolutely beyond what I could ever imagine. And with Mark, my husband, same thing. And this all happens because as we accept one another, then we can give each other the latitude and the freedom and the love that they simply are deserving of, simply because they're in our lives. And we don't have to worry about all that other stuff because it's not up to us to change that. And further, we don't get to tell them what they should do either. I had a woman. I wish I could remember. I was coaching her. This is a few years back, and she said that she was so busy educating everyone about, what she was doing and everything. And yes, she was making progress, but in her proselytizing and in her busyness to help everyone else understand about intermittent fasting and how the hot milk sprint works and what have you, she neglected herself, and she didn't take those principles to the bank. That's disharmony. That's cacophony. And that doesn't help nor serve your purposes. Be worried about yourself first, and oftentimes we can take people with us. Be the change is number 3. And the Gandhi quote, right? Be the change you wish to see in the world. The same thing applies here in your life. Make it your world, be the change you wish to see in your world. We have a ripple effect whether we're going into a positive direction or a negative direction. Everything we do has consequence. Everything we do has pain. Everything we do has a cost. And so if we recognize this and realize this, then we're going to choose and correct things within ourselves and not be so worried about everyone else. Because I don't know if you've noticed it or not, you can't control that. That's the truth. Number 4 is another favorite quote. Notice all the quotes today. Is Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can make you feel bad without your permission. Yeah. Believe it or not, the very first time I saw this was in The Princess Guide, or The Princess, whatever that was, The Princess Diaries. First time ever. I see that. But you know what? Isn't that the truth? If you decide that what they're saying about you or whatever, and if you're all wrapped up in that, boy, you're going to feel bad. But you're giving that permission to land. Think about it this way. You are an airport, and you are the airport controller. You get to control what planes land and what planes don't. And my strong suggestion is you don't let enemy planes land like this. Not one soul on this entire planet can make you feel bad unless you have given it a decision to allow for it. I know, easier said than done, right? It's a habit, though. We've been in this habitual habit of allowing people to all have input into our lives and tell us what we're about and all of that. But what if we didn't? What if we just said, no, that plane's just not going to land. Sorry, not going to land. No, you've been denied permission to land. Sorry, Roger, Roger that. This is something that we can choose to do if we want. This is something that we can, a way that we can choose to live if we want. Number 5 is to expand the borders of your heart, mind, body, and soul. Let's understand this, that we are all the things. We are not just one thing. We can't just pursue one thing and neglect everything else. I mean, how would you, if you were to call your boss and say, I'm on this big weight loss quest and I've been working out and I've been doing all these things and going to bed and this, so I'm not going to be able to show up for my shift. I'm not going to be able to do any of this. I mean, you're out of balance there. A good pursuit, sure, but we can't do life on those terms. We have to understand that we're all these different things. You can't put your kid on hold and say, don't grow up yet. I'm working on this, personal thing in myself. Can't. We can work on several different things together. And again, that is not piling on. It's simply understanding who we are and what we're about. And it's simply understanding that all of these parts of us deserve the nurture and the care that maybe the one thing that we're considering pursuing needs to be looked at. So, to me, this is the ultimate alignment assignment. Get in congruity with who you are. Get in congruity. Eat like you love yourself. Sorry, but I'm just going to call it out. If you're sucking down a bunch of, drinking way too much wine or sodas or eating a bunch of crap and just kind of going off the rails all the time. And let me just tell you, I've had a little off the rail stuff here. And I'm really looking forward to getting back to my, normal life. But when you eat like you love yourself, you're going to do something different. You're going to make different choices. It shows up because, again, that's your alignment assignment with loving yourself. Eat like you deserve to be fed and fueled and loved. Number 2 is meditate to center yourself. We talked about that a little bit. Being centered is basically a conduit to God. That's all. And if you think meditation's weird and, new agey and off the charts, get your Bible out. Go read about Jesus. He's a big time meditator, y'all. Number whatever I'm talking about. Read to become more knowledgeable, right? There's nothing wrong with knowledge. When we understand something, we can do better with it. That's how that whole thing works. Hey there, Noreen. It's a blast to be able to read. It's a blast to be able to share with people what you're reading about. I started a little book club, where I live in Brevard, and I'm just lit up with excitement with a bunch of like-minded women who they're on this quest. They want to become more knowledgeable. They want to become the best versions of themselves. They're in tune to this idea that, yeah, meditation, good thing. Yeah, I'm going to hydrate. I'm going to eat well. I'm going to get my sleep. What a concept, right? One of the women, by the way, owns an acupuncture clinic in town, and lovely lady. But isn't it fun how when you make a decision, how the right people show up? Like, this is what I want. This is what I want to pursue, so that I can be the ripple effect that I want to be in that kind of effect. And then, of course, sleep, hydrate, and move. Can't have vibrancy without it. Just can't. Our bodies aren't made that way. And this is how we create that harmony in our lives. Harold Kushner, have you heard of him? He was he's still alive. He's 86, by the way. He's an American author and a rabbi. And he wrote a book called When Bad Things Happen to Good People back in the 80s. Now, he wrote this book because his 3-year-old son was diagnosed with a degenerative disease, and he was, going to die in his teens. And it was just like he didn't have the answers for that. Here he was, a rabbi. He didn't have the answers for that. But listen to what he said when he was having his perspective about all of this and about living your best life, really. Our souls are not hungry for fame, comfort, wealth, or power. Our souls are hungry for meaning, for the sense that we have figured out how to live so that our lives matter. And that's what harmony is. And by the way, vibrancy is the power behind that harmony. And this is our quest as wise women, isn't it? Don't you think? I sure think so. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed writing about this today, and I thought it just such a good thing to be writing about right now. As I'm surrounded with family and talking about the plans for the wedding in September, Leah's wedding in September, and having my son here, and just the love that we all share. This is what it's about, and I sure hope you agree. Pinkies up. Have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow for the live show, for the Q&A. So remember, you've got like an hour. Get it done. Go get your questions in. Send them into support@savinggdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes right there in the subject line. And then put your question in, email it. We'll take care of it for you. Peace be with you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.